The city zoo awakens with the sun, a vibrant sanctuary with the urban sprawl.
Look at the monkeys, Dad. He's so fast.
What is that sound? Oh my God, look! It's coming this way, run! Get back! Get back! Get the kids! Run, just keep running!
Oh my God, what is that?
Somebody help us, please help! Oh my God, look out! Get back, everyone! Sending tranquilizer response teams to my location. I'm at the Leopard enclosure gate. Stand by for entry.
Confirmation received.
I was making my usual rounds at the zoo, just a normal day, when the scream started. It wasn't the usual sound of a lost kid. This was pure panic. I ran toward the chaos and my blood ran cold. A full-grown leopard was sprinting down the main path right through the middle of the crowd. People were scattering, diving behind kiosks, a father shoving his family into the souvenir shop. But the leopard, it wasn't attacking. It just kept running. I grabbed my radio, shouting for an evacuation and a tranquilizer team, then sprinted to the leopard enclosure. The gate was wide open, the electronic lock completely destroyed. A fire alarm had malfunctioned earlier, and the power surge must have disabled the locks. The leopard, our Artemis, must have just pushed the door and found himself free. But he wasn't heading for the main exit, where the crowds were. He was running toward the staff service area. My heart sank. The delivery gates were open today. If he got out onto the street, it would be a catastrophe. I chased after him, keeping a safe distance. He slipped right through the open gate and vanished down a residential street. Cars screeched, people screamed and ran. Teenagers stood frozen, filming with shaky hands. But Artemis didn't seem to notice them. He would stop, sniff the air like he was searching for something, and then take off again. He turned into a quiet neighborhood park, and that's when I saw her. An elderly woman, sitting on a bench under an oak tree, feeding pigeons, completely unaware. Artemis slowed his pace, moving silently across the grass toward her. I started to shout for her to stay still, but before I could, she turned, looked right at the leopard and whispered a name. Artemis, is that you? What I saw next, I will never forget. The massive leopard walked right up to her, sank to the ground, and laid his head in her lap. He started to purr, this deep, rumbling sound. The woman's hands trembled as she stroked his neck, tears streaming down her face. Just then, security and police cars swarmed the park. Rifles were raised. I ran toward them, waving my arms, begging them not to shoot. The officer in charge hesitated, then lowered his weapon, staring at this impossible scene. I carefully approached the woman and asked how she knew him. Her name was Margaret, and her story was unbelievable. Years ago, she had volunteered at a wildlife rehab center. Rangers brought in a tiny orphaned leopard cub. Poachers had killed his mother, and the cub had a shattered leg and a bad infection. No one thought he would make it, except Margaret. She bottle-fed him, gave him his medicine, and slept by his enclosure so he wouldn't be alone. He pulled through, but his leg healed with a slight limp, making it impossible to release him. So, Margaret found him a home here, at our zoo. She stayed with him on his first day, then said her goodbyes, thinking it was for the best. Shortly after, she went to Africa for nearly a decade, dedicating her life to wildlife rescue. She assumed Artemis was long gone, but just the day before, she had visited the zoo with her granddaughter and saw his name on the sign. She called out to him, and he looked right at her. She recognized the scar on his leg and knew it was him. She left without saying anything, thinking no one would believe her. The next morning, when that power surge unlocked his gate, Artemis wasn't looking for freedom. He was looking for her. He explained everything to the zoo director. After a lot of discussion, we knew what we had to do. Margaret was given a permanent pass to visit Artemis whenever she wanted. We placed a chair for her right by the glass of his enclosure. From the very next day, Artemis would wait for her, lying as close to the glass as he could. She would read to him, tell him stories about her time in Africa, speaking to him like an old friend. Artemis, who was usually so distant with people, completely transformed. He would press his paw against the glass, and she would mirror the gesture on her side. Months went by, and I could see Margaret was getting frail, but she never missed a day. Then, one morning, she didn't come. Or the next. On the third day, I went to her home and learned she had passed away peacefully in her sleep. When I returned to the zoo, Artemis was lying by the glass, staring at the empty chair. He looked up at me, and in that moment, I knew. He understood. In her will, Margaret left the proceeds from her home to the zoo, to improve the habitats for Artemis and the other big cats. We expanded the enclosures, built new climbing structures, and created a state-of-the-art veterinary facility. In the center of Artemis's new home, we placed a plaque. It reads, "In memory of a woman who saved lives and loved without measure." It's been another year now. Artemis is still with us, strong and dignified. He's a living symbol of a bond that defied time, distance, and instinct. Their story proved that memory isn't just for humans, and that loyalty can live in the wildest of hearts, all because someone once showed it a little kindness. Thanks for watching. If this story touched you, please give it a like and subscribe for more.